If you have been finding it very difficult trading, making your daily target of $50, $100, even $10, this strategy is for you, as I'm going to be revealing a very powerful strategy that you can use to meet your daily target as much as $200, $300 easily without you stressing yourself. This strategy is meant for you. This strategy is meant for you. Right. Meanwhile, if you are yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please do well to hit on that subscribe button and turn on the bell notification so that you stay updated each time I'm dropping a new comment. Right. So the strategy is a very simple one with 3 indicators that we are going to be using, and the 3 indicators we are going to be using, one is a moving average, one is a moving average which is going to be on our indicator window, and two other is going to be on our window. One is going to be on our in window session. Right, it's going to be on our window. Right, indicator window. One is going to be our moving average, is going to be on our main chart, while the indicator window is going to, while two other indicators is going to be on our indicator window. Right, so this strategy is a very simple one that you can use to trade crash 1000 and crash 500, mainly solely just for crash 1000 and crash 500 and crash 300. This is what the strategy is made for. Remember, why we are using this pair is that they are actually less volatile. They are in the mid volatility range, that even when you have a small liquidity as low as $10, as low as $6, $8, you can still trade them and still meet your daily target. All you need to do is just for you to apply and abide to the rules I'm going to be giving on this strategy. This strategy is very effective. I've been using it over a long period of time, and I've decided to drop it for you guys. So the first thing you are going to do is that, remember, we are going to be using 3 indicators. One is going to be a moving average, which is going to be on our main chart. 2 is going to be on our indicator window. Now, one thing, the first thing you need to put into consideration in this strategy is that you need to consider your higher time frame. You need to do your top down analysis. Is very, very important. As the reason why majority of the strategy you see on YouTube fails is that you don't consider your higher time frame structure. Your higher time frame structure is very, very important. No matter the strategy you are using, make sure you understand the pros and cons of that strategy, and the fundamental pros and cons of any strategy you find out there is market structure. Make sure you understand your market structure. Understanding your market structure is very, very important. Very, very important. In fact, it's the major thing you need to put into consideration. And when we talk about market structure, there are different ways to you doing your market structure, but the most effective one is you knowing how to do your institutional market structure. Institutional market structure is king. As your institutional market structure would never fail you. The only way you can have it to fail is when you are not putting into consideration your institutional market structure. Right? When you are not putting into consideration your institutional market structure, that is the only way it can phase you. Right, so make sure. So the strategy works perfectly on M15. This time around, we are not using M1. It works perfectly on M15, and in the worst case M5. Now let me give you the simple basics for it. I actually did a short about the strategy. You can actually find it out here. So check my channel, you actually find the sort there. So the strategy works perfectly on M15. Then in a worst case scenario, M5. Don't go below that range. Don't go below that range. Don't go below that range. Now let me give you the criteria for it now. Now look at now. I said the first thing you need to do is that you need to do your top down analysis, and your top down analysis is just you looking at your higher time frame. Now let me show you one powerful things about this top down analysis. Doing top down analysis is not about you just come and draw an horizontal line, draw a trend line. All those things are trash. They are trash when you don't use it in the right way. Now by the time I actually bring my trend line, I'll actually say this is a downtrend. Right, this is one trend line. You can have another trend line like this. Right? Opening that this is the word, telling you that this is the word, this is a downtrend, and you can say, okay, now you have this cross here. Right? This trend line breakout or trend line what, how you use it, right? So looking at that now is not all about that. It is not all about you just drawing your trend line. Now look at these things. Now look at this candle here. Look at this our daily candle. Let me enlarge it so that you can see. Look at our daily candle here. There's what we call liquidity. Okay. There's what we call liquidity, right? And liquidity is nothing but what? Look at this candle here. This daily candle, this present candle that is forming now. This was yesterday candle. Now look at this our daily candle. You observe that this daily candle now have actually come and taken out this low, the low of yesterday. You might not really appreciate it on daily time frame, but that will go down to 1 hour time frame. You tend to appreciate it very much. So looking at this, this is a very powerful confirmation for you to know that this market is a bullish market. We're actually in a bullish market. We are going to be having a buy. Because the first thing, the moment they wake up that day, the moment they start today, we had a massive down sell, and this down sell now came and take out this low, the low of yesterday, telling you that they've taken out the stop loss of those who bought this massive buy yesterday. So definitely they don't want many people to be in this buy. That was why we have a sell, a massive sell to take out the previous day low. Look at this candle here now. Look at this candle, yesterday candle, this green candle. Look at this red candle. Look at what they did. You can see the very first time they did that same yesterday was that they went and take out the low of yesterday, and then before we now have this massive buy. So they've come and take out the low of yesterday. This thing is very powerful. These are the major things you put into consideration. Your liquidity, your market structure, you dare not play with it. Once you are not putting this thing into consideration, you can't be profitable. No matter the strategy you want to use, it will always fail you. Right? So you consider your market structure. Let me go down to 1 hour time frame and show you better way, so you get to understand it more better. So let me just delete all these nonsense trend line. I'm not saying trend line does not work. It works, but there are rules to it. There are rules to trend line. Let me go to my 1 hour time frame. So now look at, so you appreciate it more better here now. Look at this is our daily. This was yesterday low. Look at. Can you see what we have? You can see that they just take it out with like 2 or 3 pips. And there's one thing we call a 3-bar pattern. 3-bar pattern, I did a deep dive in it in my mentorship. This pattern is very powerful. The moment you spot this pattern, you are good to go. Don't even consider anything. Just you looking at this 3-bar pattern, you are good to go. This is one here. For my student, we get to know this is 1 here, this is another 3-bar pattern here. This is another 3-bar pattern. Look at this is another 3-bar pattern. So once you have this 3-bar pattern, we call it 3-bar pattern. There are much to it. It's a very powerful reversal pattern. It's a very powerful entry setup. Very powerful. Very powerful. That the moment you are able to identify this thing in the right context, you are good to go. You are good to go. A typical example of it is this. Look at, there's no way you have your 3-bar pattern that it will not work out. Look at this, another example here. This is another example here. This is another example. This is another example. So there's no way you have this 3-bar pattern that you won't be profitable, no matter how. No matter. It's a very powerful pattern that you can use to trade. Right? It's a very powerful pattern that you can use to trade. So the first thing you need to put into consideration in this strategy is your market structure. Your market structure is very important. And when you are putting in consideration your market structure, you need to what? You need to consider your higher time frame. You need to consider your higher time frame. Now let me give you the settings to the strategy. I don't want this video to be too long. I'm definitely going to update you on how it's going. Right, so the first thing we are going to be using is our moving average. We'll click on this F here. Right, so the moving average now, the period is 19, shift is 0, method is exponential, apply to close. Please, the period is 19 and the method is exponential, apply to close. These two things are very important. They are very important. Right, so once you are done, you click on what? You click on done. Right, once you are done, you click on what? You click on done. Then you click on this F plus again. Then you now look for what? Your RSI. Your RSI now, that is the relative strength index. The period is 8, apply to close. Apply to what? Apply to close. Level is 90, 50, 10, 20 and 80. That is the level. Once you are done, you click on done. Right, so the last but not the least indicator we are using is our what? You click on this F here. It's our what? It's our awesome oscillator. Right, as a matter of fact, let me even delete everything so that you get to understand it. So you click on what? You click on this F plus here. You look for your moving average. So the period is 19, shift is 0, method is exponential, apply to close. You click on done. Right, you click on this F plus again. You click on this F here. Then you look for your what? For your RSI, relative strength index. The period is 8, apply to close. The levels is 90, 50, 10, 20, 80. Once you are done, you click on what? You click on done. Then you click on this F plus. You can click on this F here, or you tap on your screen and you use this F. Then you click on this indicator. Now you click on this main chart here. Then you look for your what? For your awesome oscillator. Now for the awesome oscillator, now just leave it the way it is. Just leave it the way default setting. Then you click on what? You click on done. Now look at it now. The first thing you need to put into consideration is that once you've considered your what? Your higher time frame structure. Once you've considered your higher time frame structure, right, then the first confirmation is going to be coming from our main indicator. It's coming from this moving average. It's coming from this moving average. This is the moving average now, that after you've confirmed your what? You've done your market analysis, you've done your top down analysis, then this moving average now will now confirm your trend for you. This moving average will confirm your trend now. And the only thing the moving average is doing for you, that you need to wait for price to be, if price is above this moving average, if price is below this moving average, look at if they are below this moving average, that means you are in a what? You are in a downtrend. You should be looking forward for a sell. But if price is above this moving average, that means you are in a what? You are in an uptrend. You should be looking forward for a buy. So once that is confirmed, now if you look at our moving average, you will find out that the price is above it, right? This first one now is actually the first one, and this is the psychology behind it. Everything boils down to your market structure. If you look at very well now, this is our higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. There is more to this thing. Now look at it now. This is, if you look at very well now, we have our break in market structure here to confirm this uptrend. We have another break in market structure here to confirm this uptrend. Now we've gotten two BMS, right? We've gotten two BMS now. Obviously, you are going to have a retracement, right? Once you have the retracement, you now have your higher high. So what we have is this: we have our higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Is it not the same pattern we have here? So your ability to be able to identify your structure within structure goes a long way. It goes a long way. So once you identify that now, and this moving average is actually above price, that means you are in a what? You are in an uptrend. You should look forward for a buy. So that is the first confirmation. So the second confirmation now is our what? Is our RSI. Now RSI is a what? Is a trending indicator that we use to determine the momentum in the market. We use it to determine the bias. One thing we know with RSI is that when I'm saying that, you should understand the pros and cons of RSI. Now no matter how, every other strategy you will find, they will say you will need to buy at 30 level, or you sell at what? At 70 level, or you buy at 20 level and sell at 80 level. This has always been the levels they advise. But now, understanding your pros and cons of your strategy, understanding pros and cons of your indicator, now I gave you an edge. Now this RSI, now if you are working with 15-minute time frame, now obviously you will need to buy at 50 level, right? You will need to buy at 50 level, right? Where you don't need to wait at 20 level, because waiting at 20 level now, you can still buy at 20 level, but that means you are not going to get a confirmation from your moving average, which is your trend indicator, and that now you might tend to start wasting, because you can have it at 20 level and nothing will happen. You keep having a spike. So that is why you need to buy at 50 level. 50 level is a neutral level. 50 level is a neutral level, but this 50 level now, if you observe it very well, on 15-minute time frame now, it is 50 level, but on 5-minute time frame is going to be around our 30-20 level, right? It's going to be at our 30-20 level. See our 5 minutes, you can see we have what? You can see what we have here. It's at our 40 level, but on 1 minute time frame now, we can have it at what? At our 30-20 level, which is telling us who is good for what, is right for buy. See our 1 minute time frame. You can see what we have. See what we have on our 1 minute time frame, right? So you need to understand the pros and cons of your strategy, of your indicator that you are using. Understand the time variance of this indicator in each time frame. These are the things that causes loss, that made you to sell loss. Some of you just come and say, I tried this strategy, it blow up. Why would you be buying when you are not supposed to be buying? So you need to, it's not about you just putting on indicator on your chart. You need to understand the pros and cons of that indicator. You need to understand the pros and cons of that indicator. So these are the things we look out for to take our buy. So once these things align together, the major thing here now is that the moving average, right? The moving average and our RSI has to align. Most times this our indicator, this our awesome indicator is another trend following strategy that you might not really wait for the condition, for its condition to play out. But because one thing is that awesome oscillator lag. Look at our awesome oscillator now. If you look at our awesome oscillator now, awesome oscillator is just coming out, is above the zero level. If you want to confirm, that means you want to put the trade into consideration. Your RSI price has to be above your RSI. That is an uptrend. You're above your moving average, right? Then RSI has to be at what? At 50 level, whether on 5-minute time frame or M15. Sure, you understand? So once you have these things, you are certain that no, you are in an uptrend, since you have price above the moving average. And now the awesome oscillator now has to be at above our zero level. This candle or this whatever you want to call it has to be at above zero level, and it has to be green. So that is the three confirmation you are looking at. So once you have that confirmation, you can easily buy. See, this is another confirmation here. This is another confirmation. This is another entry. See, you can see that we have. You can see. Look at what we have. Right, look at what we have. Okay, look at, you can see it's above our zero level. Look at, we have this, can you see it's at our 50 level. So once all these things align, you are good to go. Just make sure the three indicators align together and you've done your what, your top down analysis. Then you can easily place your buy. Apply risk management, apply good risk management. Don't be too greedy. Once you look at these things and you filter them out, then you know what, once you look at this thing and you filter them out, see, this is another confirmation. You can see at our 50 level, right, as somebody is looking at price above our price, you will have spike, but make sure that what the spike, make sure you always have the spike, but the spike will not go below your entry point. Once you enter at the right time, you can see when I did place my own entry here, you can see immediately I have this spike, right? And it's touching my 20 level. I waited for some time and look at the confirmation before I actually place my buy here, right? Place my buy here. So guys, do your back test very well. It works perfectly, effortlessly, right? Look and see, this is another confirmation. You can see. So guys, just do your back test very well. And meanwhile, if you are here to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please hit on that subscribe button and turn on the bell notification so that you stay updated. Each time I'm dropping a new comment, you'll be the first to get notified for it. And also, I'm going to be starting the live stream by the special grace of God next week, Wednesday. You can see my flyer is we are all set. You can see we are all set. We started already. You can see I'm going to be posting the flyer on my YouTube community. So for you to join, just follow. We are starting on Wednesday, next week Wednesday, on 24th of November. So guys, if you want to be part of this training, actually subscribe to my channel if you are here to subscribe to it, and send me a message. You actually see my number, my contact details on my description level of this video. So guys, do your back test very well. And make sure you do your top down analysis. Is very, very important. If you actually want to know more about top down analysis and your market structure, you can actually send me a DM in my DM and join my community. You can join my mentorship. I have a video about market structure in my channel. Watch that video. But if you feel you need a deep dive on market structure, then you need to join my mentorship program. DM me to know more about my mentorship program. So guys, see you